Hi everyone, welcome back to Golden Papery, and I am going to do my regular plan with me. We are starting a brand new month. I always get a little bit excited when you start a new month because you get to reevaluate some of the things that didn't work last month. So I will be the first one to admit that January was the longest month and I did not feel motivated to do anything at all. It's been just one of those couple of weeks where you feel just gloomy. It's still winter, it's cold. I mean, we had a couple of cold days, so kids were at home, and you just don't want to do anything other than just veg out and chill and just not do anything. So, I am going to take a step back, to be honest, from a lot of the planning that I've been doing. I want to get started with the monthly February, which I did already start off camera, but this was last week, I believe. And I put in all of the different monthly tasks that I do have to complete, a couple of events that are happening. I know we have a birthday party to get to. My niece is also turning 3, which is crazy. And she's a Valentine's Day baby, so it's just, it's extra special. But lots of activities going on for the kids. Also, apologies beforehand. My throat is hurting today, so I am going to just take it easy and talk low so that I can get through this video. But I did not do a lot of the habit tracking that I wanted to do last month. I feel a little bit overwhelmed because I put in a lot of places to habit track, and so I'm going to just take a step back from that and take it easy. I also think that a lot of people set up these New Year's resolutions, these goals, and although they are very helpful, I think I'm going to do something where it's just 3 main goals that I would like to do, every year, but just not really break them down into so many minute tasks. And what I mean by that is if I say I want to save, $5,000 for a certain project, that is all that it's going to be. It's not going to be, okay, did I save, $20 today, $20 this other day? We're going to just take it easy and try to hit these very large tasks or goals, should I say, for the year. So while I plan my weekly, there are a couple of things that I have going on at work. I also mentioned last week that I took on some projects for my company, and I did not mean for it to be overwhelming as it is. I have one social media content planning to do, and then, so I'm doing that for a conference that's coming up, and hopefully that'll end by March. So that'll end this month, not a big deal. But I also took on a web design project. And this one is a little bit tricky because I've never worked on a real estate website before. And so I always get a little bit weird when it comes to the design of it. But the good thing is my client is very flexible, very reasonable, and so I don't feel as stressed that she's not going to like it. But, as a business owner, you still try to get these things where it's not as stressed out. I think on top of that, I have my full-time job and then I have all these different responsibilities at home. And so just the weight of everything has made me feel a little bit just gloomy lately. I think we all kind of go into those phases during wintertime. It's just like the winter blues are really hitting right now. So I'm trying to just relax, chill, really prioritize the self-care that I want to do for myself. I recently started to do coloring, something as simple as getting down to our childhood activities can really just improve your mood, can boost your mood, and can just give you some excitement as you go through all of the different responsibilities at your work or at your, day-to-day life. But for this week, I do have a couple of meetings for the week. I think I have a whole bunch of them on Tuesday. Um, I feel good that one of the projects that was our main project has now decided to go live towards the end of the month. That makes me feel good because I do have some prioritized appointments for my son next week, and I just want to concentrate on that. That he's going to meet with two new specialists, and so I just like to really give my focus to that. But with work in itself, for this project, I have already completed all of my tasks. Now I'm just doing some audit reports, and they're not coming as great as I would have hoped, but I also work great with some examples with the data, and it's hard to get those examples when the team is not able to pull those reports from the system. So those are the type of things that I have to work on in my position. Sometimes you have examples with data, sometimes you don't. And so it's just one of those things where you have to just design and try to modify as we design them. But for this week, I also have a check-in with our CTO, so our previous CIO recently left and they finally hired a new chief. So I am curious to kind of pick his mind about what his vision is for the department, but he's still kind of learning and onboarding. So we're taking it slow. I know this check in is with our entire team. And so it's great to kind of just give that. Educational and historical background about all of our pipelines, our data warehouse, our tables. Um, a lot of the work that I do is prepare and transform the data. And so that's a big part of our department. And we're a three-person team. So when I say that AI has truly helped our team, it's kind of crazy what it would have looked like if this were maybe 2 years ago when AI wasn't as implemented as it was before. And don't worry, I know some people don't like AI, but in my case, um, we really try to utilize it to maximize our time and our performance. So when we have to build a new pipeline, we just kind of feed, these different platforms to try to build the process behind it. I also think that there's a common misconception with programmers back in the day, used to kind of design things by hand, write it out on maybe on a paper, all these different pipelines that you had to do, the databases. There's like a diagram that we used to do all the time to try to plan and lay out the back end of the systems, the architecture behind it. And sorry, I'm getting a little too technical here, but just giving you insight into like how long it would take to do those things. I mean, months, months. And it's crazy how now we're able to do things like that, like in, I mean, literally minutes. So, but other than that, I do have my weekly tasks that I do, or actually daily tasks. I always review my Jira board. I always try to update it. I do also try to review my Power BI monitoring dashboard and then a custom watcher dashboard that analyzes all of our tables. And then I would like to do intentional movement throughout this week. I feel like I've lost a lot of weight because of my diabetes, and I haven't really focused on building that muscle. And so all of these medications that I'm taking and honestly the good habits that I've developed, eating better, drinking water, like really cutting off soda and sweets and all of that, um, have really maximized like the way that I look. But now I just feel uncomfortable because I feel too thin. So it's a good and bad problem to have, right? But I'm still trying to figure out this diabetes routine. It's just one of those things that you have to go back and forth with. But I love planning my week and getting these stickers. I went ahead and pulled out some stickers that I haven't used in a long time. And so when I had recently gotten pregnant, well, I say recently, but that was like, almost 2 years ago, um, I purchased some like pregnancy stickers from Once More with Love, and they are so cute. But then I had a whole bunch of other stickers that I just like never used. So that's what I'm going to do for this week. I'm just pulling out what's in my folder and use those stickers because I need to find um a way to not only use them, but like make the planning look cute. It makes me happy, honestly, seeing these little like emoticons or visuals. It just makes me happy. But I found all of these die cut papers that I had, like little dashboards that I'm probably gonna take out and put in my planner, or I may also just give them to my daughter. She loves to draw and she loves to color, and so she's not as big with stationery as I am, but I'm slowly making her get there. So, and I thought these were cute. I found these Pocky stickers too, which we have a whole bunch of Pockies here at home. So I am going to take that as a sign to do a little bit of cheating and eat some sweets since I don't do that that often. But for this week, I am trying to just slow down. We do have to travel on the weekend for a birthday party in East Texas. And so in the Hispanic culture, you do these when you turn 15, you have a quinceañera, and that is the party that we're going to go to. So it's a very large celebration, and sometimes it gets kind of wild. So I am trying to conserve all of this energy, try to feel better physically, mentally, so that I can have a good time. But there are not that many um, things going on this week. I did have a couple of projects and now I decided to put them on hold because it's been kind of cold lately. A lot of them involve being outside, and I don't want to leave my son inside the house. I would like to take him out. And so I'm trying to just plan it where we can work outside and it's not freezing. We're just not used to this in Texas, so it's just one of those things. But I feel hopeful that I can get back on track on some of my goals. I am going to take time this week to just review the goals and simplify them. I don't think I did like very detailed goals except for work, maybe, but I also think I have too many systems. So, on top of the A5 planner that I have, and this one, you can find it in the description, but I got it from Christina Loves Planning. Um, I also have the personal cash binder that I've been taking it with me for when I go out to purchase groceries, when I go out to go get some cash to the bank, go get gas, all of that, and that stays in my bag. But sometimes I do also like to use my digital type planning system. So I have my Google Calendar, I have a Notion planner that I do content planning on, and I was just thinking about some of the old videos that I had on my channel, and I'm going to do a new tutorial because the old ones are pretty bad. I think I recorded them like just real quick, no no editing of the audio, so it's not great. But how I print out my planner templates, like the ones that I get from Etsy, and also how to create planner templates, which is what I like to do pretty often. when it comes to like dashboards or maybe like a quick to-do list or appointments list. So I will be sharing those when they are available, but I'm going to work on that this week because I do feel that although I would love to spend my money on just buying all these like different things that, there's so many beautiful products out there, and I do, promise me, I do like to self-care and purchase them. It's also very budget friendly to just plan your daily, your weekly, your monthly while just printing it. So I'll share my process on that, and yeah, we will. You'll see the process that I do, but it's just a refreshed video of an old one that I already had. So this is the week for, I mean, it looks kind of empty, y'all, but honestly, that's okay. I promise you, so many things happen in my day. Um, and then I do know that both of my coworkers are going to be out for like Monday and half of all of Monday, half of Tuesday. So it's busy. It gets very busy. And when I don't have any meetings, it is the absolute best. I am curious to know that if you do use other systems aside from a pen to paper type planner, feel free to comment in the comments box so that I can check them out because I am looking for different ways to keep track of meetings. And I know that's something that people don't really like to talk about because there are some AI tools, but because I work with a lot of sensitive data, I cannot utilize those AI tools. So I'm curious to do something different with my meetings, but I am going to update my project sections here. I do have the main priority project for one of our teams, and we were able to complete that last meeting that we had. And like I mentioned, I already finalized all of my, deliverables, but I still have some new audit reports to design. So that is something new. But for the other project, the website, I am just keeping them track here, but not anything like detailed. All of that is in Notion. And then I did complete my steps for January, which I ended with like 2:15, 2:30, I can't remember. And it's that's not too bad considering that I had a very, down um, steps for the month. I didn't really walk. It's been cold. I don't, funny enough, we had a treadmill in our gym and now we don't. So I like to do the walking there. But for my monthly goals, I still have the same, going to do some Garmin challenges. I'm going to also try to close out some Jira tickets. And it's very simple. This is the only section that I'll probably do some detailed goals. But overall, I am going to try to just simplify my goals for the year instead of the New Year resolution type goals that people like to impose on themselves. But for this planning week, everything looks good. I'm not feeling stressed out about it. I'm not feeling like, it's too much. Everything looks good. And I'm going to just do a quick review of my personal cash binder. I did go to the bank on Friday and picked up the cash that I needed, and I went ahead and just customized my planner, added some planner cards, some journaling cards on my binder, and then reorganize. I added the schedule, the grocery list, and the tasks at the very front. And then I pushed off all of the cash savings or cash envelopes, the savings challenges, and sinking funds towards the back. And I just feel like that is a little bit better for my taste so that I have my scheduler at the front. And I did try to customize my weekly. I have actually 2 weeks here planned, and I'm just going to add things as they come up. This one is very like hands-on. things that I need to go get. Like if I, for example, actually this is a really good example. I need to go pick up some more candies for Valentine's Day, the Valentine's Day cards, and I can just add a quick note here on my personal cash binder because I also have my cash envelopes for the kids or for the groceries. And so when I'm at the store, I can just take that cash out, pay for it, and cross off that, item from the list. So that works good. I did not do my cash stuffing on this video because I did it over the weekend. And I'm going to try to figure out how I can do it on the video instead of over the weekend. But it's a little difficult because I go to the bank on Fridays and I don't want to leave it in just an envelope because I probably will go over the weekend to buy things. So but everything looks good. I'm just reorganizing here. I am going to be giving myself and my husband spending money on a weekly basis now. And then I just went back and added some more things on the list. So healthcare got, I believe, $15. Kids got another $10. And then I didn't pull anything out for the savings challenges. I'm a little bit sad because the savings challenges is where it's going to stay at. We are in a new month, so anything that I get to save from these paychecks will be for the new February savings challenges. But for January, we did save about 50 some dollars on the January challenge. And then I had another January weekly challenge that I was able to also save about, let me see, I think I want to say like $100. So it's not too bad. We still got to save around $200 for the month of January, and that is not counting the 26-week challenge, which I'll be honest with you, a lot of that I just been transferring over to I use a Ally's high yield savings account, so I would rather keep that there. I was pulling the cash out in the beginning and I figured, wait, if I let this sit in the bank account, it'll accumulate interest and I'll get more bang for my buck. So that is going to stay there. And like I said, these savings challenges are for when, I have to go to Sam's and go pick up some large items, which I recently did. And I was able to do that with some of the grocery money that I had left over. So it wasn't too bad. So this is what we got, y'all. I am excited for this month. I'm going to just put this January envelope into my binder. So this is like my, I guess, like the storage of it all. So I'm going to leave this in my office and I'm going to just put in the next month. So February and March will now be in my cash binder and January is done. Yep. So we are back and organized with the cash binder. And I am still so in love with this cash binder. It was a fully set up binder by Christina Loves Planning, and I highly recommend you check it out. It is pricey, but I did do the affirm on it and was able to just do a bi-weekly payment, which worked out because I was able to budget for it. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.